the Diamond Jubilee 75th Annual Crawford County Fair in Cuba, Missouri, July 12th through the 16th. Tuesday night is Family Fun Night with free admission. Parade is at 6. Wednesday and Thursday, tractor pulls and Queen Coronation. Friday night, check out Bulls and Barrels as well as live entertainment from Casey Tyndall with Joan Jett, hey! And Flatland Calvary. Saturday night, Aaron Watson takes the main stage.
Run, wild horses, run out of control. Deep down in your soul, we become one. When I see you, I see all I've ever wanted.
And don't forget about the livestock auction, championship bull riding, and for those 21 and over, visit the beer garden and wine garden. Don't miss this year's best ever Crawford County Fair, July 12th through the 16th. For more information, visit crawfordcountyfair.com.
News Talk 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, KTUI, Sullivan. It's 6 o'clock. Good morning. This is KTUI Radio, beginning a new day of broadcasting. KTUI is owned and operated by Merrimack Area Broadcasting, LLC of Sullivan, Missouri. Broadcast facilities are located at 900 Elmont Road in Sullivan. KTUI is authorized by the Federal Communications Commission to operate on an assigned frequency of 1560 kilohertz on the AM band and K231CP, an FM translator frequency of 94.1 megahertz. The assigned power for KTUI AM is 1,000 watts, and the power for the FM translator is 250 watts. We invite you to tune in daily to AM 1560 or 94.1 FM for the latest news, weather, and information. And now, the President's own U.S. Marine Corps Band with our national anthem.
By the way, what about the future? Well, all you have to do is listen to the polls and to those who are given to predicting what will happen. Then you'll know. No. Actually, predictions and reality are often quite opposite. But it does help to have some inkling of what to expect. And in that respect, the best prophet of the future may well be the past. Will there be problems in the future? Yes. Will there be surprises? To be sure. Will what is true and noble and just often lose? Unfortunately, yes. Will God's love and forgiveness and hope and peace always be available? Absolutely. Look at God's wonderful blessings in the past, and you can know that there are many more coming. Just a thought from By the Way.
Good morning to you. It is 3 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, 71 degrees right now at the studios of KTUI. And I guess we need to check in, see what our weather forecast is going to be like today.
From the KTUI WeatherBug Weather Center for this morning, expecting mostly clear skies. Sunny this afternoon, a high temperature of 93 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 69. On Friday, mostly sunny, high 92. Friday night, partly cloudy, low 72. On your Saturday, mostly sunny, warm with a high of 93. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low 71. On your Sunday, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible, otherwise partly sunny, high temperature 86. For KTUI, I'm Andrew Brady.
Thank you, Andrew. And once again, 71 degrees here at the studios of KTUI. I'm Sam Scott. Glad to have you along here this morning. And let's see, what have I got for you? This is one of those mornings where, the hurrieder you get, the behinder you get, or something. Sunrise, 5:53 this morning. Sunset will be at 8:28 p.m., day length of 14 hours and 36 minutes. And on the 14th day of July in 1954, it got up to 115 degrees. Whew. 1990, the lowest high we ever had was 66 degrees. 1967, it was 51. The record low was 51. And in 1995, the highest low that we ever had was 81 degrees. 115 degrees in 1954. Wow. Let's hope it doesn't get like that here today. This morning, I'm supposed to be talking with Tim Atwood. And he's going to be performing with the Davis family. Then at 9:10 this morning, Greg Jones from East Central College. And then at 10:05 this morning, live from the White Mule Winery. So those things are coming up this morning. Mike Mitter will be in here to talk with us this morning. I don't have any birthdays. I don't know. I'll have to see if I can dig some up somewhere. But if you have a birthday or an anniversary, send me a text message, 573-677-1001, 573-677-1001. You can email it to me. Just send it to news@ktui.com, or you can give me a call, 468-5101. All right, today is Bastille Day. This is International Non-Binary Peoples Day, National Grand Marnier Day, National Mac and Cheese Day. There you go. There's something I can get behind. National Mac and Cheese. National Tape Measure Day, Pandemonium Day, and this is very important for people who live in this area, Shark Awareness Day. So there you go. There's the things that you can celebrate today. And let's see if I can get us back over here to news and information coming your way here on KTUI. 71 degrees.
USA Radio News.
President Joe Biden is facing a flurry of criticism as new federal data released Wednesday show 40-year high inflation increased the costs of everything by 9.1% in June over last year. Colby Smith with the Financial Times spoke to CBS News.
It's having an absolutely major impact for Americans here. It's not just energy prices, it's food as well, and across most goods and services, frankly. So a report like this one is pretty disastrous, not just for Americans, but for the Biden administration as well.
A former CIA software engineer accused of the biggest theft of classified information in CIA history has been convicted at a New York City retrial. A jury reached the guilty verdict against Joshua Schulte on Wednesday. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Wendy Bell here for my friends at Swiss America. Did you know the U.S. Constitution authorizes only two forms of legitimate money, gold and silver? That's right. But our government abandoned gold and silver a half-century ago. Meanwhile, gold and silver prices have rocketed in recent years due to growing economic uncertainty. So, to help my listeners, Swiss America has a very special offer today. Silver Walking Liberty $half at the amazingly low price of $12.50 each, delivered. You heard me right, $12.50. Call now to reserve your silver coins at 800-630-1490. That's 800-630-1490. Silver Walking Liberty $half for just $12.50 each, delivered while supplies last. Put a silver lining in your financial portfolio now by calling 800-630-1490. 800-630-1490.
President Joe Biden traveled to the Middle East on Wednesday.
President Biden's trip to the Middle East is being met with staunch criticism from Republicans who say the president is there on an anti-Israel agenda.
His policies of the last year and a half has done so much to alienate our friends that he's desperately trying to repair those relationships. Biden has nominated anti-Israel officials in his administration, has consistently undermined our Israeli allies.
Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz speaking there. That audio courtesy of Fox Business. From the USA Radio News Phoenix Bureau, I'm Tim Berg.
Firefighters from Portugal and Spain to southern France and Croatia are battling wildfires scorching Europe amid an unusual heat wave. Portuguese authorities say more than 600 people have been evacuated and about 120 needed medical attention. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wade Alaroot. If you like my radio show, you're going to love my podcast, War Raw. Each podcast, I present my top 10 most outrageous, salacious, and controversial stories of the week. I break down the best of the best raw truth stories for conservatives, libertarians, patriots, taxpayers, Trumpers, and deplorables. Anyone who appreciates God, guns, gold, and tax cuts will stand up and cheer for War Raw. Check out this week's War Raw podcast right now. It's available to download in iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you listen to podcasts. War Raw. War Raw.
First Lady Jill Biden has apologized for calling Hispanics as unique as breakfast tacos, but the fallout continues. Representative Guy Rushenthaler of Pennsylvania talked of double standards on Newsmax Wednesday night.
This shows you that the inherent bias by the Democratic Party. They're just trying to stereotype an entire block of Americans. And really the stereotype they're putting on Hispanics. And Chris, this is why Republicans are polling about 54-55% with Hispanic voters. The Hispanic voters know that the party that is pro-family, the party that is supportive of those who just want to show up and work and live their lives, those are values that the Republican Party has. The Democrat Party looks down upon different voting blocks. They think all these blocks are monolithic. They're not. We Republicans look at people as individuals.
Montgomery County Police in Maryland are warning the public that officers will enforce laws against disturbing the peace at protests outside the homes of Supreme Court justices. On its website Wednesday night, Montgomery County Police posted the following message: there are content-neutral Montgomery County Code and Maryland law provisions that restrict protesting and assembling in a private neighborhood, as well as disturbing the peace. For USA Radio News, I'm Katie Lewis.
At Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital, we don't just work in the community, we live here too. We understand what it means to raise a family here, and we know the importance of having the highest quality healthcare nearby, with BJC Healthcare doctors, nurses, and specialists to treat all your needs. This is your best medicine, Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital, proud to serve the community we call home. For compassionate cancer care close to home, our neighbors turn to Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital. They can receive preventative screenings, see their doctor, and get most treatments and infusions without having to leave the comfort of our community. As part of BJC Healthcare, we bring the latest cancer treatments to you, right here, for the highest quality care. Your best medicine is close to home at Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital.
Missouri Net News, good morning, I'm Brent Palm. A Missouri doctor says the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade abortion ruling has already created mass chaos among doctors and pharmacists. During a U.S. Senate hearing, Dr. Colleen McNicholas with Planned Parenthood said patients are being denied or delayed care for pregnancy and non-pregnancy related conditions.
Lupus, arthritis, cancer, medications that we use frequently to control those conditions are being denied to patients because they might also contribute to miscarriage or can be used for abortion and other indications.
Senator Josh Hawley says 90% of Americans oppose abortions in the third trimester. The CDC says 93% happen in the first trimester and less than 1% are completed after 21 weeks of pregnancy. Some of Missouri's Democratic leaders are asking Governor Parson to call lawmakers back to the Capitol to clarify a few abortion-related issues. They want a special session in order to pass legislation establishing access to contraceptives and treatment of ectopic pregnancies. Senator Lauren Arthur from Kansas City says she's been contacted by many people with concerns about what some consider vague rules rather than laws.
I've been urged by constituents and doctors and healthcare administrators and all of those who are sort of on the front line of this, that Missouri must clarify its laws to save lives, protect access to birth control, and allow doctors to provide appropriate medical care.
The governor's office says the state law has not changed the legality of contraceptives and are not affected by the new abortion ban. Attorney General Eric Schmidt says the FBI is planning to illegally obtain information from Missouri sheriffs about concealed carry permit holders. Schmidt says he sent a letter to the FBI director asking him to cease their attempts to do audits at sheriff's departments in August. Schmidt says accessing the records of Missourians violates state law and infringes on our Second Amendment rights. Schmidt is running in the Republican primary for U.S. Senate next month.
Whether you are using the road on 4 wheels or 2, going across town or across the state, here's how to stay safe. Buckle up. On a bike, that means helmets, and in the car, that means seatbelts. Phone down, pay attention to the road. Slow down, drive, and ride sober. And drivers, watch for motorcycles. Doing that will make sure we can all enjoy the open road this summer. Be part of the movement. Help us end traffic deaths. Brought to you by Show Me Zero.
It's up to you, Missouri, to ensure you're up to date on recommended COVID-19 vaccines before summer travel and getaways. No matter where you're vacationing, on the water, in the great outdoors, or visiting local fairs and festivals, be prepared to talk to your healthcare provider to ensure you're up to date on recommended vaccines and boosters. COVID-19 vaccines protect against COVID-19 infections, hospitalizations, and reduce the spread of disease. Learn more from Missouri Immunization Coalition at moimmunize.org. That's moimmunize.org.
Amtrak's Missouri River Runner is set to resume 2 trains a day starting next Monday, July 18th. Marshall Griffin has details.
The extra train comes courtesy of an expanded state budget. Lawmakers approved and Governor Mike Parsons signed the spending plan last month that increased funding for the Missouri River Runner by nearly $2.5 million. The Amtrak route runs daily between St. Louis and Kansas City, with stops in Kirkwood, Washington, Herman, Jefferson City, Sedalia, Warrensburg, Lee's Summit, and Independence. Marshall Griffin, Missouri Net.
The family of a Kansas woman killed in the Amtrak train derailment last month in northern Missouri is suing. Rochelle Cook of DeSoto was one of 4 people who died after the train hit a dump truck at a rail crossing near Menden. The lawsuit argues that BNSF Railway should have known the crossing posed a grave danger due to the angle of the tracks. And the Kansas City Royals will play its 4-game series in Toronto without 10 players who are not vaccinated against COVID-19. This is Missouri.
When it comes to your finances, you need a team you can trust, someone who can help you through any situation, a local community bank you can depend on. At First State Community Bank, we are that partner. And because we're committed to Sullivan, you won't have to worry about changes to your accounts or locations. Come see me, Jordan Todd, in Sullivan today. My team and I are excited to partner with you. We'll make the process of switching banks quick and easy.
First State Community Bank, member FDIC, online at fscb.com.
Summertime is the best if you're a kid.
Sun, friends, freedom, and fun.
Be home when the streetlights come on.
Surprise treats from Mom.
Kids, cookies and Kool-Aid.
Baseball in the streets, fireflies at night, cookouts with the cousins, ghost stories at camp.
On the other hand, summertime is not the best for us grown-ups.
Sticky heat, high utility bills, cranky old air conditioners.
Yuck. If summer heat is stealing your summer fun, we can help. We're Level 9 Heating and Cooling.
Level 9 HVAC.com. The Missouri State Highway Patrol reported a fatal accident in Christian County at 9:10 last night on US 160 at Northview in Nixa. A Dodge Charger driven by a 16-year-old male juvenile from Nixa was traveling at a high rate of speed, failed to stop at a red light, struck the side of a 2017 Toyota Sienna driven by 40-year-old Ashley M. Finley of Nixa. A 9-year-old boy in the Toyota was pronounced at the scene by the Christian County coroner. A 12-year-old girl from Nixa was also a passenger in the Toyota. She was transported by ambulance to Cox South. The driver of the Toyota, 40-year-old Ashley M. Finley of Nixa, had serious injuries. She was transported by ambulance to Mercy Hospital. The driver of the Dodge Charger had serious injuries, and a passenger in that vehicle, 18-year-old Spencer Davis, also of Nixa, had minor injuries. They were both transported by ambulance to Cox South. There was a fatal accident at 3:54 p.m. yesterday in Taney County on U.S. Highway 160 at Homestead Acres Road, 2 miles west of Walnut Shade. 31-year-old Kenneth E. Tillman of Merriam Woods was driving a 2010 Ford Taurus, went off the right side of the roadway, returned to the roadway, began to slide across the center line, and struck a 2008 Hyundai Elantra driven by 23-year-old Caleb I. Hawley of Hollister head-on. 23-year-old Caleb Hawley of Hollister was pronounced by the Taney County coroner at the scene. The driver of the Taurus, 31-year-old Kenneth Tillman of Merriam Woods, had serious injuries. He was transported by EMS to Cox South. There was a fatal accident in Washington County at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon at Gobbler's Knob Road north of Skyview Drive. 65-year-old Alan Arndt of Steelville was driving a 1998 Ford Ranger northbound on Gobbler's Knob Road, traveled off the right side of the roadway. The driver overcorrected. The vehicle re-entered the roadway. The driver lost control and then traveled off the right side of the roadway again. The front right of the vehicle struck an embankment and overturned onto the driver's side. The bed of the vehicle then struck a tree. 65-year-old Alan E. Arndt of Steelville was pronounced at the scene by the Washington County coroner. A Rolla man was injured in an accident in Miller County at 11:40 p.m. yesterday on Missouri 17, a quarter mile south of Bonnie Drive. 25-year-old Jordan S. Caden of Rolla was driving a 2006 Chevrolet Colorado. Across the center of the roadway, traveled off the left side, continued a short distance before striking an embankment, causing the vehicle to go airborne. The vehicle then struck another embankment and culvert before coming to rest off the roadway. Jordan Caden had minor injuries. He was taken to Lake Regional Hospital by ambulance. The Highway Patrol cited him for DWI, possession, 10 grams of marijuana, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, no seatbelt, failure to drive on the right half of the roadway resulting in a crash. He was released for medical treatment. The Missouri State Highway Patrol made an arrest in Franklin County at 3:40 p.m. yesterday. 20-year-old Tyron A. Alvarado Chamorro of Pacific was arrested on a patrol charge of possession of a controlled substance ×2, Adderall 3 pills, and amphetamine 2 grams. He was taken to the Franklin County Jail and then released. The Phelps County Sheriff's Department said that on Thursday, June 23rd, 30-year-old David J. Rasmussen of Rolla was arrested on a Phelps County warrant charging him with stealing and possession of a controlled substance. On Friday, the 24th, Phelps County deputies arrested 33-year-old Mara A. Kloss of Rolla on a Sullivan municipal warrant, charging her with failure to appear on the original charge of driving under the influence. On Friday, the 24th, Phelps County deputies conducted a traffic stop in the area of McFarland Drive and Highway 72. As a result of that stop, 53-year-old William L. Berardi of Salem was arrested on a Phelps County warrant charging him with failure to appear, driving while suspended, failure to appear, speeding, and failure to appear, expired registration. On Sunday the 26th, Phelps County deputies arrested 37-year-old Emily Toole of Rolla on a Phelps County warrant and a probation and parole warrant, charging her with possession of a controlled substance. Monday the 27th, deputies arrested 24-year-old Elizabeth L. Scheider of Rolla on a Phelps County warrant, charging her with failure to appear in the original offense of driving while intoxicated. That same day, deputies arrested 37-year-old Angela F. Allred of Rolla on a Lawrence County, Arkansas warrant, charging her with failure to appear on the original offense of larceny. Also on Monday, June 27th, deputies arrested 36-year-old Brandon Proffer of St. James on a Phelps County warrant, charging him with possession, failure to register a motor vehicle. On June 29th, deputies responded to the 25,000 block of County Road 6050 for a report of an assault. When they arrived, deputies discovered that a 21-year-old male from Edgar Springs stated that he was assaulted by a known male. As a result, 44-year-old David Pound of Edgar Springs was arrested on charges of third-degree assault. On Thursday, June 30th, deputies conducted a field interview in the 14,000 block of County Road 7100. As a result of this stop, 43-year-old Justin Fry of Rolla arrested on a Phelps County warrant for possession of a controlled substance. Also on the 30th, deputies responded to the Marys Phelps County line. They arrested 50-year-old Randy C. Noctegal of Bell on a Phelps County warrant, charging him with failure to appear in the original offense of driving while revoked, suspended. On Friday, July 1st, deputies responded to the Crawford County Jail. They arrested 33-year-old Stephen G. Shores of Cuba on a Phelps County warrant, charging him with failure to appear on the original charge of driving while revoked, suspended. On Sunday, July 3rd, deputies responded to the 24,000 block of Powellville Outer Road. They arrested Danielle E. Kimmel, age 45, of Newburgh, on a Phelps County warrant, charging her with failure to appear on speeding. On the 5th, deputies responded to the Phelps County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. They arrested 19-year-old Matthew D. Lawrence of Rolla on a Phelps County warrant, charging him with resisting arrest. Also on the 5th, 36-year-old Stephen J. Stagner of Salem was arrested on Phelps County Sheriff's Department warrant, charging him with possessing over the legal limit of deer. Also on the 5th, deputies responded to the 800 block of Bishop Avenue in Rolla, arrested 19-year-old Logan W. Mollier of Edgar Springs on a Rolla city warrant, charging him with failure to provide proof of insurance. On the 6th of this month, deputies responded to the 11,000 block of Little Oaks Road and arrested 61-year-old Rhonda J. Smith of Rolla on a probation violation, charging her with possession of a controlled substance. On the 7th, deputies responded to the 600 block of North Jefferson Street and arrested 43-year-old Jeffrey W. Pitts of St. James on a Phelps County warrant, charging him with driving while revoked. Also on the 7th, deputies responded to the 11,000 block of Highway 72. They arrested 45-year-old Nadia E. Whistler of Rolla on a Phelps County warrant, charging her with no proof of insurance. On the 8th of this month, deputies responded to the 100 block of Bishop. They arrested 25-year-old Sean M. Leach of Newburgh on a Texas County warrant, charging him with a probation and parole violation, failure to appear, in possession of a controlled substance. On the 9th of this month, deputies responded to the 12,000 block of Prairie Lake Road and arrested 36-year-old Daniel T. Joyce of Cuba on 2 Rolla municipal warrants, charging him with failure to appear on the original offense of no insurance and peace disturbance. Also on the 9th, deputies responded to the Crawford County Sheriff's Department. They arrested 26-year-old John C. Ames Jr. of Cuba on a Phelps County warrant, charging him with possession of a controlled substance. Also on the 9th, deputies responded to the 15,000 block of North Highway 68. They arrested 37-year-old Catherine M. Julius of Bell on a Gasconade County warrant, charging her with a non-moving traffic violation. On the 10th, deputies responded to the 700 block of Salem Avenue. They arrested 31-year-old Kirk A. Bartholomew of Edgar Springs on a Webster County warrant, charging him with failure to appear for passing a bad check. Tuesday, 27-year-old Gail Joy Shablo of Vienna was arrested at the Phelps County Courthouse on a Pulaski County warrant, charging her with tampering with a motor vehicle. Also on Tuesday, deputies responded to the 1900 block of North Bishop and arrested 34-year-old Heather Polk of Rolla on a Phelps County warrant, charging her with operating a vehicle without a valid license. With funding approved by the Missouri General Assembly and signed by Governor Mike Parson, full service by Amtrak Missouri River Runner trains resumes July 18th with 2 daily round trips for travel this summer. Community representatives along the route are coming to the stations this Monday to thank leaders for the funding and to celebrate the restoration of twice daily service. By again offering both morning and afternoon departures from St. Louis and Kansas City, Amtrak customers can make day trips from Missouri's 2 biggest cities to and from Kirkwood, Washington, Herman, Jefferson City, Sedalia, Warrensburg, Lee Summit, and Independence. Also, full service is restored in time for the Missouri State Fair next month. That is a look at your local news on a Thursday. I'm Sam Scott.
You've heard the saying, slow and steady wins the race. At Edward Jones, we apply that consistent approach to long-term investing. Hi, I'm Donnie Greenwald, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. Investing a little bit at a time on a regular basis is a key to long-term growth. We call this systematic investing. And though it doesn't guarantee a profit or prevent a loss, it is a way to take advantage of market volatility instead of suffering from it. To learn more, call us at 573-468-6046 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
psychologists, licensed professional counselors, and licensed clinical social workers, Compass Health Network is looking for you. The need is great in our communities, and we are currently hiring licensed staff to help us care for those that need us most. Compass Health Network offers a supportive environment of over 250 clinicians, excellent training, a competitive salary, and great benefits. Join us as we inspire hope and promote wellness. Visit careers.compasshealthnetwork.org and apply today.
In recent funeral notices, Thomas P. Capps of Bourbon passed away in his home Sunday, June 3rd at the age of 59. Arrangements for cremation have taken place. Memorial services will be held at 5 o'clock this afternoon at the Eaton Funeral Home in Sullivan. Visitation will be from 3 until 5 o'clock this afternoon prior to the service at Eaton Funeral Home. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made for funeral expenses for Tom. Bernetta J. Mercer Beckett passed away Tuesday in Walnut Shade at the age of 89. Funeral services will be held at noon Friday at the Lasting Hope Assembly of God Church in Bourbon. Interment will follow at the Bourbon Cemetery. Visitation will be from 10 a.m. until the time of services at noon Friday at Lasting Hope Assembly of God Church in Bourbon. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the Lasting Hope Assembly of God Church. All arrangements are under the direction of the Eaton Funeral Home and Cremation Center of Sullivan. The complete funeral announcements with all the survivors will air with our 8 o'clock expanded edition of KTUI News this morning.
Experience the difference. Sullivan Bank is different from other banks. Hello, this is Debbie Durham with Sullivan Bank. The real quality of Sullivan Bank rests in one word: caring. It's not just about banking, it's about the fulfillment of your dreams. At Sullivan Bank, we care enough to listen, to understand that this is about your life, your family. Sullivan Bank is different and as unique as the person who is listening to me right now, you. Stop in and experience the difference.
From the KTUI WeatherBug Weather Center for this morning, expecting mostly clear skies. Sunny this afternoon, a high temperature of 93 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 69. On Friday, mostly sunny, high 92. Friday night, partly cloudy, low 72. On your Saturday, mostly sunny, warm with a high of 93. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low 71. On your Sunday, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible, otherwise partly sunny, high temperature 86. For KTUI, I'm Andrew Brady.
All right, thank you, Andrew. It's 29 minutes in front of 7 o'clock. We've dropped off to 69 degrees now here at the studios of KTUI. And it's time for some sports. Stay tuned.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Last night, the Cardinals built a 6-0 lead against one of the toughest pitchers in baseball, Tony Gonsolin, scoring 5 of the 6 against him. But then the Cardinal bullpen just could not hold on as Drew Verhagen gave up 2 runs after 2 outs in the 7th. Genesis Cabrera was tagged with 2 runs, 1 for Junior Fernandez, and Giovanni Gallegos suffered a blown save and the loss, giving up 2 in the 9th inning, 7-6 Dodgers.
Cardinals were just 7 outs away from locking up the victory for Adam Wainwright, who pitched very well. The pitch count was up for him, but with 2 outs in the 7th inning, all those outs the rest of the way just got harder and harder. Cardinals bullpen, I think, a little bit light because of the bullpen day the day before, and it showed as the Cardinals really struggled to get those outs, and the Dodgers just kept on hitting.
It's Dakota Hudson trying to gain a series win for the Cardinals against lefty Tyler Anderson, who's 9-1. And we're on the air tonight at 5:20. The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Missouri Nut Sports, I'm Bill Pollock. The Cardinals let one slip away. They blew a 6-0 lead, lost to the Dodgers 7-6, who scored all 7 in the final 3 innings. Adam Wainwright held LA scoreless for 5 1/3 innings.
If you want wins, you got to go 7, and just makes everything simple. So I could have done my job a little bit better tonight, gone a little deeper, and we would have probably won that game.
The Royals beat the Tigers 5-2. Andrew Benintendi and Hunter Dozier each had 2 hits. The Royals take 3 out of 4 against Detroit. They're in Canada tonight, opening up a series with the Blue Jays, but 10 players not making the trip.
Canada requires anyone entering the country to be COVID vaccinated. Dozier, one of those players not traveling.
Me personally, I don't do any vaccines. I live a healthy lifestyle. I eat healthy. I work out.
The Blues gave Robert Thomas an 8-year contract extension. They re-signed defenseman Nick Leddy and found a backup goalie in Thomas Greiss. David Perron moves on to Detroit. Bill Pollock, Missouri Net Sports.
A message for everyone using the roads. That's you drivers and riders, evening runners and those running errands, lake dippers and road trippers. Help make the roads safer by doing 4 simple steps. Buckle up, phone down, slow down, and drive sober. That's it. Be part of the movement. Help us end traffic deaths. Brought to you by Show Me Zero.
My name is Lori Lewis, and I am the Director for Staff Training and Development for the Department of Corrections. After starting with corrections, I found it was more than a job for me. I had the opportunity to build a career. Now corrections is more than even just a career for me, it's a cause. The field of corrections presents an opportunity not only to build a career personally, but provides the opportunity to really make a meaningful difference for society.
Secure your future. To apply, text DOC to 44844.
At Seidenstricker Nobe Partners, we're here to help you get the job done. Our John Deere compact tractors can do it all. Lift, load, mow, grade, and more. Starting as low as $199 a month, our Workhorse package comes with a loader and a mower. With a full line of tractors to choose from, let us help you find the right tractor to suit your property's needs. We have plenty in stock ready for your chore list. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land. snpartners.com.
Offer valid through 8/2/2022. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
An active Wednesday for direct cash cattle trading. Cash hogs into the day mixed. Good morning. I'm Megan Grabner with Brownfield Livestock Market Report. It was an active day for direct cash cattle business. Live deals on the south were at $137, set with last week's weighted averages. In the north, deals in Nebraska were at $144 live and $230 dressed, about $2 below last week's weighted average basis in Nebraska. Asking prices held firm at $139 to $140 live in the south and $235 dressed in the north. Look for those to be restated later today. Some additional business is expected to take place over the balance of the week. At the Hub City Livestock Auction in South Dakota, there wasn't an accurate price trend available, but higher undertones were noted on both steers and heifers. The USDA says demand was good to very good for the day's offering. Quality varied, especially on packages, from plain to attractive. Flesh was mostly moderate to moderate plus. The market was active. Medium and large one feeder steers, 912 to 949 pounds, bred 179 to 181.50. Feeder steers 985 to 997 pounds, bred 156 to 167.25. Medium and large one feeder heifers 952 to 968 pounds, bred 145.50 to 154.50. Cash hogs closed mixed with another huge negotiated run. Processors were able to move their desired numbers without having to bid up to get aggressive in their procurement efforts. While demand has been strong on the global market, there are long-term concerns which keeps pressure on prices. The industry continues to monitor the availability of market-ready hogs. The Iowa Minnesota closed 60 cents higher with a weighted average of 124.41. The Western Corn Belt was up 57 cents, also with a weighted average of 124.41. The Eastern Corn Belt closed 3.24 lower with a weighted average of 118.29. Pork values ended the day higher, up 81 cents at 118.28. Loins and picnics led the way higher. Bellies and hams were also higher. An estimated hog slaughter was 454,000 head, down 18,000 on the weekend, down 9,000 on the year. At the CME, live cattle were mostly higher and feeders were higher, watching direct cash business develop. And lean hog futures ended the day higher, supported by strong pork values during the session. For all the latest in-market news, visit our website, brownfieldagnews.com. I'm Megan Grabner, Brownfield Ag News.
It's time for the Diamond Jubilee 75th Annual Crawford County Fair in Cuba, Missouri, July 12th through the 16th. Tuesday night is Family Fun Night with free admission. Parade is at 6. Wednesday and Thursday, tractor pulls and Queen Coronation. Friday night, check out Bulls and Barrels as well as live entertainment from Casey Tyndall. And Flatland Calvary. Saturday night, Aaron Watson takes the main stage.
Run, wild horses, run out of control. Deep
When I see you, I see all I've ever wanted.
And don't forget about the livestock auction, championship bull riding, and for those 21 and over, visit the beer garden and wine garden. Don't miss this year's best ever Crawford County Fair, July 12th through the 16th. For more information, visit crawfordcountyfair.com.
Extend the cabbage harvest by turning it into sauerkraut. Hi, I'm Jody Henke. Shred it up, add some salt, let it rest, and you'll have a healthy addition to family meals as you're living the country life.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
Whenever you're online, Living the Country Life is there too. Like us on Facebook and exchange tips and ideas with people who share your love for the country way of life. Follow us on Twitter at Small Farming for timely news and information. You can also find us on Instagram and Pinterest. See the latest inspired shot from our readers or add a garden tip to your boards. Living the Country Life has all the ideas for your home acreage. Visit us online at livingthecountrylife.com and find us on social media.
If you're looking for new ideas for what to do around your place in the country, register for the Living the Country Life newsletter. Once a week, you'll receive helpful tips in your inbox on a wide variety of seasonal and timely topics, along with so much more. Living the Country Life is for all those people who love to live in the country. Sign up for your free newsletter today by visiting livingthecountrylife.com.
One of my favorite summertime meals is a grilled brat with sauerkraut. The word sauerkraut means sour cabbage in German. It's processed by natural fermentation, one of the oldest methods of food preservation. Debbie Botzik-Lynn is a retired extension food safety educator at the University of Minnesota. She says it's important to use the right variety of cabbage.
When you're making sauerkraut, you want to be sure to start with firm, sweet, mature heads of cabbage, particularly mid to late season crops. What that means is there's early cabbage and later cabbage, and I like to recommend later cabbage. That variety makes a better quality sauerkraut.
The only other ingredient you need is canning or pickling salt. Don't use table salt because the iodine in it will prevent the necessary bacterial fermentation. Botzik-Lynn says it's very important that you measure the salt correctly for the fermentation process to work as it should. Save the outside leaves of the cabbage head and put them aside to use for sealing the product. Shred the rest, mix it with the salt, and put it into an earthenware crock or a food-grade plastic container.
There's a couple different ways that you can seal the sauerkraut product. The one I like to use is, again, washing the leaves and putting the leaves over the top of the packed shredded cabbage. And then I have a plate that I put over that, and I put a jug of water on top of that and cover it with a dish towel. You also can use a food-grade plastic bag, fill it with water, and put that on top, and that really does a nice job, too.
The amount of time it takes to turn cabbage into sauerkraut depends on the room temperature. Allow 3 to 4 weeks at 68 to 74 degrees. Find more instructions for making sauerkraut at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
From the KTUI WeatherBug Weather Center for this morning, expecting mostly clear skies. Sunny this afternoon, a high temperature of 93 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 69. On Friday, mostly sunny, high 92. Friday night, partly cloudy, low 72. On your Saturday, mostly sunny, warm with a high of 93. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low 71. On your Sunday, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible, otherwise partly sunny, high temperature 86. For KTUI, I'm Andrew Brady.
Thank you, Andrew. 69 degrees here at the studios of KTUI, and we're coming up on 17 minutes in front of 7 o'clock. It's time now to go out across our wide Missouri.
Across our wide Missouri with Bob Pretty. Listen to show archives, hear about this day in Missouri history, and learn more about the Show Me State by visiting MissouriNet.com today.
One man's life was involved in the history of our state for only 5 months. But his forceful actions kept Missouri in the Union and determined the Union domination of our state throughout the Civil War, although he would die in its earliest days. His premature death, some say, meant that this state would suffer longer than usual, longer than it might have because of the war. We'll tell the story of Nathaniel Lyon in a minute.
Enjoy buckets of fun with live music at the Missouri State Fair with Charlie Crockett and Stoney LaRue. Thursday, August 18th at the State Fair Grandstand. Presented by CFM Insurance.
If it's true, this Oklahoma breakdown.
Buy your tickets today to Charlie Crockett and Stoney LaRue at mostatefair.com or etix.com. Check off your State Fair concert bucket list at the Missouri State Fair, August 11th to 21st in Sedalia.
Brought to you by your Missouri Electric Cooperatives.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth. Step out of the car, please. I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Nathaniel Lyon was a veteran of the war against the Seminole Indians in the Mexican War. He was in the siege of Veracruz, was promoted to first lieutenant while on the march to Mexico, and he commanded his company throughout the rest of the campaign. In the assault on Mexico City, he was wounded, and he was cited for gallantry. After the war, he went to California for the Indian campaigns and eventually wound up at Fort Riley, Kansas as a captain, where he tried to maintain some sort of order in those bloody days while Kansas was striving to become a state when the border war was raging between Free Soilers in Kansas and the pro-slavers in Missouri. Once a pro-Southern officer challenged him to a duel, but he refused, and when goaded further, the fiery Lyon changed his mind, demanded pistols. Across a table. Friends managed to talk both men out of that and convince them to cool off. It was at the insistence of Frank Blair that Lyon's unit was transferred to the Guard, the St. Louis Arsenal, in February of 1861. He and Blair, men of a kind in their loyalty to the Union, became fast associates almost immediately. The area at the time was under the command of General William S. Harney, who was so hopeful of keeping Missouri neutral in the growing controversy that Governor Claiborne Fox Jackson and General Sterling Price had succeeded in pulling the wool over his eyes. Blair and President Lincoln had conferred at length on the situation, and finally Harney was called to Washington for a conference. In April, the rebels captured the arsenal at Liberty. Lyon feared a similar attempt would be made in uneasy St. Louis, but by now the Union-leaning Home Guard was being formed, a citizens' unit that could apply more manpower for defense of the arsenal. At this point, Governor Jackson called for volunteers to set up Camp Jackson. Lyon knew the camp had to be demobilized. He disguised himself as Blair's grandmother one day and rode through the camp as a spy. Then, with further connivance from Blair and the help of the Home Guards, Lyon moved in force and took the camp. Harney was finally relieved of his command in mid-May. Lyon became a brigadier general and was named the commander of the Army of the West. Jackson and Price went to St. Louis hoping to buffalo him as they had bluffed the aging Harney, but Lyon saw through them, especially when Jackson suggested U.S. forces leave the state. Jackson claimed he would disband the state militia, then bring on peace. Lyon refused. Jackson and Price fled back to Jefferson City, and Lyon followed a few days later. He took the state's capital city without a shot being fired, and he whipped the state militia at Boonville. Lyon had sent troops into southwest Missouri to cut off a retreat from Arkansas. By early August, Price's units had combined with rebel troops there. They outnumbered Lyon 2-1. Lyon knew he couldn't retreat. He had to attack. And at daybreak on August 10th, Lyon and Sigel attacked the rebels at Wilson's Creek, south of Springfield. Sigel turned the flank but mistook the enemy regiment for a friendly one and was driven back. Lyon was at the front of his men. He was wounded in the leg and head. His horse was killed. He got under the horse and was rallying his men when another bullet struck him in the chest. A fatal wound. His troops retreated all the way back to Rolla. Lyon's actions were said by many to have been instrumental in keeping Missouri in the Union. How much more he could have done, of course, will never be known, but no less a figure than General Sherman said his death meant the war would be fought in Missouri for 4 more years. General Nathaniel Lyon, who was born on this date, the 14th of July, in 1818.
That was Across Our Wide Missouri with Bob Pretty. To listen to show archives, hear about this day in Missouri history, and learn more about the Show Me State, visit MissouriNet.com.
Today we call it ketchup, but there was once a segment of this nation that knew it as catsup. Today we visit with a man nicknamed the Big Tomato, who will set you straight on the story behind the product and why such a large bottle of it is sitting in Collinsville, Illinois. It's today's edition of the American Countryside.
I'm Ty Morgan, host of U.S. Farm Report. Join me each weekend as we explore the news and issues that matter the most to agriculture. We know this past year has been challenging in many ways, but as agriculture continues to adapt, we are right there with you. From markets to weather, each weekend we take a deep dive into what matters most. Join me each weekend for U.S. Farm Report, timely, trusted tradition.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Mike Gassman says you may use this condiment every day, but you probably pronounce it differently.
This is catsup with a C, C-A-T-S-U-P. Now, you'll be hard-pressed to find anybody around here that actually pronounces it catsup.
The Brooks brand was made here in Collinsville, Illinois, home of the world's largest ketchup bottle, which is actually a water tower at the old factory constructed and painted to resemble a Brooks ketchup bottle.
Originally, catsup and ketchup, both of the spellings were about the same popularity all across the country. And what happened was eventually ketchup with a K won out because of the popularity of Heinz.
The Brooks ketchup bottle water tower still spells its ketchup as catsup, K-A-T-S-U-P, but you won't find even that brand with the old spelling anymore. The government says so.
Over the years, Brooks has changed from a C to a K. Back in the 80s, the FDA finally put their foot down, and they have theirs listed only as a K. So that has sort of become the predominant way of doing it these days.
Brooks is no longer manufactured here, and the 1949 water tower was in danger of being torn down. But folks like Mike and Judy DeMoisy stepped in.
It was kind of in decay by the early 90s. It had been painted a couple of times along the way, but it had been dormant for about 25 years. And we came along and decided it needed to be repainted, restored, and we took it back to its early grand days.
Today, the catsup bottle is the largest around, no matter how you spell the red condiment. And it has people stopping by to get a glimpse at the bottle so high in the sky. Traveling the countryside in Collinsville, Illinois, I'm Andrew McCray.
Why sustainability is becoming a bigger discussion in food production. Hello, I'm Megan Grebner with Healthy Living on Brownfield. The conversation around sustainability means different things to different people. For cattle producers like Debbie Lyons-Blythe.
As a producer myself, sustainability is very simple. So it's take care of the land, take care of the animals, take care of the people, and make money. And that's kind of the basis of what the definition of sustainability is.
But she tells Brownfield the definition isn't the same for consumers.
When they think of sustainability, they think first of animal welfare. So there are so many things that we can talk about and measure as far as sustainability at every single sector that we have a great story to tell.
She says the beef industry took notice and is working on continuous improvements in beef sustainability and to meet consumer needs.
And the goals that we have just now rolled out are entire beef industry goals. They are the first of their kind within the beef industry. These are far-reaching, all sectors, and every sector has a way to create their own targets and to reach our goals of sustainability. And I think that's really, really key.
I'm Megan Grebner with Healthy Living on Brownfield.
I'm Will Robinson with Agribusiness News on Brownfield. One pig feeds 525 Missourians in need. Pig farmers and Missouri 4-H and FFA swine exhibitors can participate locally or at the Missouri State Fair in the Drive to Feed Kids Hogs for Hunger. Learn more at mofarmerscare.com/drive. The American Soybean Association says the USDA's decision to expand access to double cropping insurance is welcome news. Illinois farmer Stan Bourne, a director with ASA, says the expansion will help increase food supplies domestically and abroad.
Allows us to get two crops off the same land in the same year and do it with
less risk, being able to utilize crop benefits and crop insurance.
A leading ag economist says grain production in the Black Sea region and general fears of recession could start weighing on crop markets. The University of Missouri's Pat Westhoff tells Brownfield Russia has produced a huge wheat crop this year, while Ukrainian grain availability remains a question mark.
Obviously, what happens internationally with demand around the world and competing supplies from countries like Ukraine is going to be incredibly important going forward. Press stories that maybe Ukraine will be able to export a little more than previously feared could have a big impact on markets as well.
On the positive side, Westhoff says drops in international petroleum prices should lead to lower prices at the pump and lower costs for farmers. But he says not all input drops are positive signals, pointing to past general economic downturn.
It was not just bad for ag commodities, it was bad for every commodity, from petroleum to metals to you name it. It was all going down at the same time. Why would that occur? Concerns about the general economy.
A financial consultant says more farmers are financially healthy this year, but cautious about the future. Brownfield's Larry Lee has more.
Mark Schmitz with the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection says they are seeing more farms in good financial shape this year, but
commodity prices have been softening, and so there's some concern out there about finances going into next year.
Schmitz says with the high input prices this year combined with unknown fertilizer prices next year,
it's definitely time to make your plans in advance, plan around the worst case scenario, make sure you have your finances in order before it comes time to visit your bank and make sure your balance sheet is updated and your income and loss statements are up to date.
From Wisconsin Farm Technology Days, I'm Larry Lee, Brownfield Ag News.
U.S. ethanol production declined for the fourth consecutive week. The U.S. Energy Information Administration says production averaged 1,500,000 barrels a day, down 39,000 on the week and 36,000 on the year due to the July 4th holiday and demand concerns linked to the high prices of gasoline. The Renewable Fuels Association says the volume of gasoline supplied to the market fell more than 14% to a 26-week low, and net inputs by ethanol refiners and blenders dropped 2% to an 11-week low. Will Robinson, Brownfield.
As a farmer, the work I do each day is more than a job. It's about leaving a legacy. As a farmer herself, Representative Vicki Hartzler personally understands the issues that I care about and is the only candidate with the proven record of fighting for my way of life in D.C. For over a decade,